You're going to hear an audio tape of Grandma Iole Banker, Grandma Ida Martinat, and I'm going to show you photos of the family. This is Grandma Iole when she was just a little child. I'm guessing around maybe, what would that be, six or seven, 5, 6, 7, maybe 5 or 6. There's her dad, Dante. Like his hair and his tie. And her mom, Ida. This was shortly after they'd come to the U.S. I mean, Grandma was born here in New York, but just had a simple hairdo and everything. I like Dante's smile there. The way he had his hair, it was pretty dark, I think, pretty dark brown. I'm not sure if this picture was probably taken somewhere in Monterey Park, I would think. Doesn't even look like Grandma Iole there. Maybe her eyes a little bit. Hard to say. I wouldn't recognize her if I didn't know. And there's Grandma Iole's dad, Dante Martinat. This photo was taken in Geneva, Switzerland, when he would ride his bike around Lake Geneva for his work, delivering seafood and bread. I think he really liked it there and wanted to stay, but I guess the Italian government said if you don't come back to Italy and, do your compulsory military service, you'll never be able to live here again or something. So, he wanted to come back to Italy and do that so he could see his parents and stuff. I think he was around 18 in this picture. That's what I've been told. Kind of skinny there. Okay.
Okay, while I'm waiting for Mom, let me call up. I'm going to call up about the light and the gas for 9863. I was a raindrop in a play at school. I never was in anything much, but I got to be a raindrop in the first grade, I guess. And it was all silver, like a little dress with just little silver things all over it. And my mom took a picture of it. It was really cute.
Oh, so what school were you at?
Oh, I was at Emerson's Elementary School, which was only about a block away from our house.
You went most of your elementary schools there, didn't you?
Yeah, elementary school to the 6th grade, and then I went to Garvey from the 7th to the 8th. 7th and 8th, and then I went to Alhambra High from 9 to 12.
But then wasn't there 1 year your last...
So Grandma Iole was saying that she got to be a raindrop in some little play at school. She went to Emerson Elementary and then Garfield and then Alhambra High. And that photo I just showed you was of Jeepy, our Jeep that we had a lot of good times in. And this is at the El Monte Airport, San Gabriel Valley Airport.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I was at Emerson's Elementary School, which was only about a block away from our house.
You went most of your elementary schools there, didn't you?
Yeah, elementary school to the 6th grade, and then I went to Garvey from the 7th to the 8th. 7th and 8th, and then I went to Alhambra High from 9 to 12.
But then wasn't there 1 year, your last year, you were somewhere else?
No.
Yeah, your last...
Oh, yeah, last year I was last semester, I think I was at Mark Keppel. Too bad.
Which is the one we're on the freeway that we see?
That's Mark Keppel.
Come to think of it, you kind of look like a raindrop.
The big one? like it's raining cats and dogs. They're very delicate little things. You want...
Okay.
Like it's raining cats and dogs. They're very delicate little things. You want...
Let's see. This is a photo of me when I was in junior high. So I'm thinking probably about 12 or 13, something like that. And it was taken at the kitchen at 9845. Ah, this is the kitchen. I'll take a picture of this. Oh, there's a little breakfast nook right where the photo was taken. The person taking the photo was standing in the breakfast nook. I like that dress. I wish I still had it. I don't know where it is. And then there's me wearing my my Grandpa Bob's Robert Banker's airplane pilot helmet. I'm on that avocado tree between 45 and 55. And here's me at my dad's house in Wrightwood after he passed away at about age 56, I think. Born in 1933, died in 1989. Born April 3rd, 1933. Died December 3rd, 1989. And then here's a picture at the house where Grandma and Grandpa used to live, Grandma Iole and Grandpa Bob, at 9835 after it had the addition, the two-story part put on. There's that clock. And there's my mom, Yolanda Lonnie Banker Coates, and her boyfriend who owned a pharmacy, Tom. I think I was probably around 13 or 14 there. I think I kind of liked how I looked between the ages of about 12 to 14. You can see in this picture, I just had a perm. Grandma Iole must have wanted me to get a perm. So yeah, that's the house where I grew up in. And I'm going to see if there's any more on the next tape here. This is up in Sierra Madre. Would get pizza sometimes. Sit in Jeepy. That's Jeepy there. We sit in Jeepy and watch the people that were eating outside on the sidewalk right next to the pizza parlor. Okay. Let's see what's on this tape. Side A, maybe it's blank. Oh, it might be blank. So, let's do this one here. Actually, let's do this one. Oops. So, these are our Italian cousins. And, I'm kind of forgetting, so that's Grandma Iole's grandma, Susanna, and her grandpa, Giacomo, I think. And so I think one of these is Ida and the other one's Clelia. And I think the older one, this one, is Ida. And I think that's her sister, Clelia. So Grandma Iola's grandparents there in Italy. Pretty sure. And then Ida Rivoir this time. Clelia Rivoir. Let's see. Ah, good. We have the answer of who's who here. So yes, we have the woman is Susanna Sophie Desiree Godino. And she was born, nata in Prarostino, on the 26th of October, 1865, like during the Civil War. And that would be 3 days after Grandma passed away, although in a very different year. Grandma Iole passed away on October 23rd, 2020. And so she was married, this Grandma Iola's grandmother, Susanna Sophie Desiree Godino. She was married to Giacomo Rivoiro. It's usually pronounced Rivoir, but I think maybe officially it had an O there just because they were in Italy. They stuck the O on. But I think it was really pronounced Rivoir. And he was born on the 20th of August, 1865. Also during the Civil War, they were born. And then we see, now I don't know how would you know which one's which, but, oh yeah, so Ida was the older one. You can see she was born in 1894, and Clelia was the younger one, born in 1897. So Ida would be over here, the older one. Definitely see that she's older. So Ida Rivoiro, or Ida Rivoir, born in Prarostino, Italy, on the 7th day of January, so on January 7th, 1894. And then her sister Clelia was born Clelia Rivoiro. She was born in Prarostino on, oh look at that, really close to my birthday, the 6th day of March, 1897. So that's my dear Ida, my grandmama, that used to read to me and look at me with all the love in the world. And her parents. You can see her mother looks pretty thin, Susanna. I mean, I guess her name was Susanna, but I think they might have called her Susanna. To me, her face looks pretty skinny. What a hard life, you know. So this is a picture of them kind of standing in the same direction, just when they got a little bit older. Ida, Susanna, their mother, Clelia, Ida's sister, and Giacomo. You can tell the parents are a little bit older in the next picture. So are the kids. I think Ida looks so sweet. Look at how sweet she looks. Just like she was. She looks as sweet as she was. And that must be maybe some of their, is that some grapevines? Maybe a little bit of vineyards back there on the farm. Oh, look at that pretty dress. Probably their very best clothes, you know, dressing up for a photo. And Susanna, her mother. This would be Grandma Iola's grandma. You know, I think she saw her maybe when they went back to Italy when Grandma Iole was about 8. But Grandma Iole never got to know any of her grandparents. They were all in Italy. And she was in America. There's Clelia, that's Ida's sister. But to me, that looks like the same dress that Ida had on. Nope, slightly different. Similar on the top there. But a different. This one's polka dot, more or less. And then Giacomo. Now, to me, he doesn't look very tall. Kind of hard to tell when they're sitting down, but. And then this is when they were older. Ida on the left and Clelia on the right. They look like sisters. They're wearing the same blouse. Well, I don't think they had any, I think what you see is just their natural hair. I don't think it was done that way, so maybe it had a little bit of waves in there. A little bit of curl. Actually, Ida's sister Clelia, maybe just a teeny tiny bit reminds me of my French friend from Paris, Beatrice. What is it? Maybe something in the eyes there. Maybe. Let's see here. Oops, there's one. It's a great photo of Clelia. So this is Ida's sister, Clelia Rivoiro, sposata con, married to Giovanni Marello, who was born in 1891. So that's Clelia when she was a young woman. So Clelia Rivoiro became Clelia Marello. And here we have Grandma Iola's grandparents. So we have Giacomo, and then Clelia, and let's see, Susanna is Grandma Iola's grandma on the right there. So Ida and Clelia's mother, Susanna. And over here on the left is Grandma Iola's grandfather. So Ida and Clelia's father. So Ida's father and Ida's mother. And there's Clelia holding the little baby in her arms. And Clelia's 2 children, which is the older one, Eliana Morello, born the 5th day of July, 1923, born the same year as Grandma Iole, just a couple months later. She's still alive, and Grandma Iola's not. And then Eliana's sister, Eva Morello, born in Pinerolo also on the 18th day of May, 1927, the little baby there. So those two kids are Grandma Iola's first cousins, Eva and Eliana. And Clelia would have been her aunt, Grandma Iola's aunt, or Ida's sister. And Grandma Iola's grandfather, Giacomo, Ida's father. Grandma Iola's grandmother, Susanna. So Ida's mother. And then in the middle here we just have two friends that happen to be there in the picture. I love this picture, it's really good. Dante Martinat is so handsome. Dante Martinat was born in Prarostino, the 28th day of November, 1893. And Grandma Iole always said he wasn't exactly sure if he was born on the 28th or the 29th or something like that, like one day or the other. He never could quite be certain which day it was, kind of like me, although because supposedly I was born on the 8th because my parents' anniversary was that day. But I think I really popped out at the very tail end of the 7th. And then here we have Ida Martinat. They didn't say when she was born here because they said it right over here that Ida, Grandma Iola's mother, was born in Prarostino on January 7th, 1894. January 7th. I knew that. 1894. I just forgot that part. And then there's Grandma Iola. Looks like she has a little doll. And it says she was born in Peekskill, New York, USA on 3/23/23. So the 23rd day of March, 1923. Which is correct. And then I think Ida looks so pretty here. I love this picture of her with Grandma Iola being just a baby there. I bet this photo was taken in New York, in Croton-on-the-Hudson, on the property of that rich man where they were working the, what do you call him? The ambassador to Belgium or something. I bet it was on his property. Ida's real pretty there. And then this is our Italian cousins made this book for us, maybe. Pretty sure. Well, I'm not sure, to tell you the truth. And this is Dante and Ida. I'm sorry, Dante and Iole. So Grandma Iola there. I don't have many photos of her at this age. Kind of as a tween. You know, maybe, I'm just guessing that maybe she was around 11 or 12 or maybe 13, something like that. Maybe 12 or 13. I like this picture of Dante a lot. I think he looks really handsome there. To me, he looks Northern Italian there. Frenchy Northern Italian, which he was. Frenchy. nice. So this is when Grandma Iole was 8, and her parents, Ida and Dante, took her back to Italy because, at the time it was during the Great Depression in 1931, and they were thinking about, Ida and Dante were thinking about maybe just calling it quits in the U.S. and going back to Italy. Maybe things would be better there. Look at all the grapevines they had going there at Rivoiro, where Ida and Eliana, this would be Eliana, the bigger one. So Iole is on the right, and Eliana is in the middle, and Eva is on the little one. So reunion. I think reunion in Italian is spelled wrong. It needs another I in there, maybe. Or IU. And here's Iole, married to Robert Banker, who was born in Des Moines, Iowa, USA. He was born on the 25th day of December 1918, so Christmas baby. That's a great picture. Young love. So Grandma Iole was probably 17 or 18 there, I'm thinking. And this is Grandma Iole's first cousin, Eva. And that would be Clelia's daughter, one of them. So she was married to Bartolomeo, which would just be Mayo Bonetto. He was handsome too, but Eva had to change her religion and become a Catholic like he was. She was, her family was the Waldensians, the Valdesi, more Protestant kind. And then this is Eliana, so Clelia's other daughter, Eva's sister there. And she married Giovanni Pina, who was born in Sassari in Sicily, I think that is, on the 31st day of September 1929. He was handsome. Yeah, these pages really stick together. And then they got together again in 1949. They went back to Italy. That's how we spell reunione. Reunion. So this was after the war. I think the war ended in 45. So I know they said when they went back right after the war in 49, they could still see a lot of damage from the war. So, because these are, this is Eva on the bike and Eliana standing next to Dante. These are the daughters of Clelia, and Clelia is Ida Martinat's sister. So these two young girls are Ida Martinat's nieces. And there's Grandma Iole's grandmother, Susanna, I think. And she's sitting next to Ida with the stripes on, and Eliana with the pattern dress on the right there next to Dante with the belt. That's Eliana. And there's Dante, and then those people, I think that's Philippe on the left, who is also like a cousin. So is this same person? I think that's the grandma, although she looks even older in this next picture. I think it's the same person. There's the grandma again. Eva and Eliana standing up, and Ida with the white dress on, and Clelia with the long sleeves on, and then their mother, Susanna. So 2 sisters standing up. Let's do the 2 sisters sitting down are the daughters of Susanna, and the 2 sisters standing up are the granddaughters of Susanna. That's Eliana standing up, and Eva standing up. Clelia, she does look quite a bit like Ida. And the mother, their mother, Iola's grandmother looks, pretty old there. She must have lived to a decent age. Whoops. And here's let's see here. I'm on the wrong photo. In 1951. Did they go back in 49? Oh, I know. In 49, Iole didn't go. It was only her parents. Only Ida and Dante went in 1949. That's right. And then in 1951, just, a few years later, 2 years later, Grandma Iole went and brought the kids, so Lonnie and Jack. So we have Grandma Iole, and then her aunt, her mother's sister, Clelia. And then Eva,